the opposition do, and I think that's what you have to bring against Hartpury. They're a very good side, right through from their college, their university, and even their Saturday side, a very well-respected club. So I think the main thing is that we just trust our processes and work hard for each other, and hopefully we'll come out on top.
Now, the evolution of Bath has been fascinating over the season. Critics last season would have said that you were too forward orientated, which is great news for you because you could sit at the back of rolling mauls and get all those tries that you love. But you really are an all-court side this year.
Yeah, we are, and I think that's credits to the coaches. Obviously, we have Mark Gills with the forwards, and we work very hard at our set piece, as you can tell. But this year, Lewis Messer, our backs coach, and Aaron, we're just working hard, and our main thing is we want boys to express themselves. If they see a chance, we want them to take it. That we want them to challenge themselves and take every opportunity they can. And I think you're seeing that. I mean, we have the ability to go to the corner and go over the line, or we have the ability to play from our own 5 metre line, and that's what we really pride ourselves on.
And what about the collective? What about the spirit that's in the camp at the moment? Your nickname is the Brothers, and you really get a feel of that amongst the club at the moment coming to your games.
Yeah, it does. It sounds to everyone on the outside world might sound a bit cringy, but when you're in the environment, it truly. I mean, the culture, I'd say, has been our biggest aspect of why we're so successful this season. Aaron and myself and a lot of the leaders group have worked really hard to create this culture, and it's a genuine culture as well. It's not forced. We all genuinely turn up week in, week out, and really want to work hard for each other, and I think you see that on the pitch.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing it this evening on the pitch, but it's a tough prospect that faces you. I mean, Hartpury are the Man United of BUCS Super Rugby, not just because they wear red jerseys, but because they always turn it on when it counts. They've won the last 2 BUCS Super Rugby Cups. They're in the semis again. What makes them so tough to beat?
What I think it is just they're very clinical side. They're well drilled. Obviously, they've like I said, Hartpury breed very good players here. And I think they take their opportunities really well, especially in these big games, and that's why they've, like you said, they've won for the last couple of years. So in these games, you just have to, when you get the opportunities, you have to take them.
So clinical and ruthlessness is the order of the day, which is something that Leeds Beckett did earlier in the day. Now, taking things down to Devon, where the first semi-final was played at 1 p.m. today. And the news is that Exeter's race has run, and for the second consecutive season, they have fallen short at the penultimate hurdle. Leeds Beckett going down there and winning 21 points to 15. An unbelievable result from a team who currently have irresistible momentum. That's 11 wins on the trot, undefeated in 2019. And it brings me on to something quite interesting. It was 3 tries apiece. Conversions made a difference. Your main kicker, Hugo Stiles, is injured, but Will Partington's kicking from the tee today. What difference is that going to make to you?
To be honest, not a lot of different. They're both class kickers. They both work very hard at it, and have full faith in either of them. And I'm sure Will P will do the job tonight.
Excellent stuff. All right, well, great to hear from Tom, but we must hear from our sponsors, Yoti, who are the reason that we're on the air and bringing this rugby to you.
Because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around all night now, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
It makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and it's quite versatile as well.
Our sponsors, Yoti, they're the reason that we're on the airwaves and that you can see the action on the field tonight. So we've got a last word with you, Tom. Now, Bath are almost like a hydra. You cut off the head of one Tom Doughty and a Miles Reed pops up on the bench. Loads of Bath contracted players. So much quality in your team. Is it difficult integrating these big players back into the squad? Or, as you said, the club culture prevails all the way through?
Yeah, like you said, I think the culture prevails. I mean, we do have people coming in and out of the squad, but they've been part of the squad for not just this season and the seasons before, and they instantly, when they come in, they buy into the culture, and I think that pays off on the pitch.
Excellent stuff. So, last thing to say, predictions. Who's going to come out on top, Tom?
Bath by 5 points.
Bath by 5 points. You heard it here first, so that's Doughts' view, but we caught up with the coaches before the game as well, so let's hear what they had to say. Right, Aaron, wonderful to see you as always. Another year, another semi-final, albeit in slightly different circumstances. You won't be pleased to hear me say this, but you maybe come into this one this year as marginal favourites.
I don't know about that, Joe, but thank you. We're the nearly made it team, aren't we? But hopefully it can change tonight.
Well, you're on an incredible run of form. You've won 6 of your last 6 games and you demolished Durham last week. You know, you couldn't be in better form.
Yeah, I said after the game last week, I think you saw the best and some of the worst of us. And some of the worst of us is what we've basically focused on. But yeah, it was good. It was a surprise us, but you know, semi-final, we've been in this and we haven't got through ever before. So, and it's Hartpury away.
The performance was so good last week. Is there that nagging sense in the coach's mind that you've had your big performance maybe 1 or 2 games earlier, or do you think there's more to come from your Bath side?
I hope not. I truly hope not. I hope the boys, of course, a bit of momentum with their form and the win last week helps. But you know, we're at Hartpury, and I think I've been here 30 times and walked away once smiling. So hopefully it's the end tonight. But you know, Hartpury, a great rugby club. They turn it on closer to the finals. They've been to more finals than we have. So we're aware of the big challenge.
The magnitude of the task. Well, you mentioned you walked away with a victory this year. It's the first time you've come to Hartpury and walked away with a win. What has been the difference? You've edged them by 2 points on 2 occasions this year.
Oh, it's been a lot of things. It's the players' mentality, the way they've worked hard, the way we've approached lots of things. We've got a lot of small things right. Mark and Lewis have put a lot of coaching time in with the players into just getting ourselves a bit better and making those small steps forward, and that's probably helped us so far. But you know, is it good just so far, or have we got another game in us?
Okay, well, it's been a squad, it's been a team performance all season, but we can't overlook the fact you're missing a couple of stars. Tom Doughty injured last week and Hugo Stiles. What's the sort of void that they leave in your side?
Oh, look, we'd love to have Tom and Hugo. They've been really top performers right through, and you know, we're sorry we're not there, but you know, we also lost like Will Butt. But in this sort of environment, and in most rugby environments, you're only as good as your second team, and we've got loads of players, a wider squad that easily fit in. James Hadfield has been playing outstanding when he's played. You know, when Tom Doughty was out for 3 weeks, he's been one of the top form hookers, and it was hard to get Tom back in. So he's back, and we're all confident around that. Hugo's Hugo, and he brings a lot to the game. You don't know what, but it's exciting. But hey, you know, that's just how it is. You know, Hartpury are down a few. Other teams that played today are down a few. So it's just the nature of it.
And last remark on the conditions, the occasion, it is glorious down here. Are we going to see that free-flowing, abandon-free backs play that Bath have seemed to embrace this season?
Oh, some have said it's free-flowing malls, I think. But yeah, we would like to, but you know, it's all about winning this one, isn't it? But yeah, if you'd wish, you'd hope for tonight. You'd hope for these conditions without any wind, and yeah, the sun's out, so brilliant. Hopefully.
Good luck, Aaron.
Thanks very much.
Sean, thanks for joining us. It's semi-final time in BUCS Super Rugby, and once again, Hartpury are here. What is it about Hartpury that makes them love knockout rugby so much?
Oh, it's just nature of the beast where we're at with Hartpury. We just want to strive and be the best, and the players, it all comes up from that player, and you can't go fault 80-minute semi-final rugby at home.
Reigning double champions. The triple is in the offing. How are you managing the expectations amongst yourselves and of the players indeed?
That's not been mentioned at all really, because it's a new bunch of boys, new cohort, and they can only control this 80 minutes and then see what happens after that. But nothing of double and triple has come into it at all.
Okay, now tonight's opposition, you've played them twice and you've lost twice to them by 2 points on both occasions. 2 contrasting games, so how are you approaching the challenge differently this time?
We haven't really approached it differently. We know they're a very good side, very powerful forwards, set piece wise strong. So that's something that we've been looking at and making sure that we're accurate with ball in hand, and we're not giving them any opportunities regarding our defence. So the order of the day is just being disciplined and accuracy.
Well, you mentioned discipline. You gave away a number of penalties against Northumbria last week, which saw you punished by Josh Hodge. But you've kept faith with the same 23, the exact same 23. That shows supreme confidence in the boys at your disposal.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you've got to mention as well the defensive display that we did to only let Northumbria score one try is credit to the boys, and that's something that we've been taking a lot of pride in.
Excellent stuff, Sean. And last remark, the conditions absolutely perfect today. Are we going to see your backs really unleashed because they've been exhilarating all season?
Yeah, it's something that we are hoping for, and the backs have taken a lot of confidence in their last 2-3 weeks displays. And the forwards will give us set piece and go from there, and it's about just getting that go forward ball and keeping the ball.
So the words of both the coaches there as our cameras are set on the tunnel here at Gilman's ground as we await Bath and Hartpury to come out for this crunch semi-final clash. Bath have brought 2 bus loads of fans, and you can hear them roar as the brothers trot out in their famous blue and gold hoops. And it's probably a good opportunity to meet the teams as well. Starting with Hartpury, now they've been a model of selection consistency since the turn of the year and fielded exactly the same 23 that negotiated Northumbria last week in the quarter-finals. In the backs, the headline grabbers are the triumvirate of Elias Caven, Robbie Smith and Irvin Murick, who have 28 tries between them this season, with Murick the league's top finisher with 12. However, it's Nathan Chamberlain at 10 who makes this team tick and certainly isn't camera shy, picking up 2-man the matches in 2 televised games. While up front, Angus Soughton will call the shot to the line out, while double BUCS winner Alex Gibson will be the cornerstone of the Hartpury scrum. Bath coming to the semis almost as settled. Captain Tom Doughty's season-ending injury seems James Hadfield earn a semi-starting berth at hooker, having helped himself to a second-half hat-trick from the bench against Durham. He'll be flanked by club stalwart and fellow try-scorer Austin Hay and Bath Academy prop Arthur Cordwell. As we see the ball in Bath hands to get us underway here at the Gilmans, and Bath go long into the Hartpury 22, fielded by Toby Venner, the scrum half who's fought his way into the starting lineup, displacing England student Ben George. But I tell you what, he's no slouch when it comes to try time, 10 to his name, despite having missed half of the season through injury. And we're underway with Bath countering. Bit of an aerial battle to start things off, and the ball's into Irvin Murick's hand, the man we mentioned in the build-up. 12 tries, an absolute revelation and a crowd favourite down here in Cheltenham. Hartpury settling into the hands of Chamberlain, who feeds to Mar, gets out to Robbie Smith, who's been on fire. He gets the outside arc and he's broken through, but just scragged at the final moment by Alex Nisbet. Venner in at the base, goes to Clementson. Clementson so busy around the park. A carry in the centres through one of the big second rows, and Hartpury looking good here. They've started brightly as they make their way up to the bar 10-metre line. Good continuity, working their way through the phases. It's a forward play, then to the backs every time. They find Alex Gibson in the centre of the field. Slower ball this time, sees Will Biggs into the fray. His first contact, captain for this evening. in place of the injured Will Crane. But Bath win a penalty to relieve some pressure, and it gives us an opportunity to introduce tonight's co-commentator, Simon Linsell, who is the Hartpury RFC, the championship captain, former Exeter University captain, and a man who knows a thing or two about semi-finals in BUCS Super Rugby.
Yeah, 1-1, lost one, so, you know, there are worse ratios out there, to be fair.
Well, Si has literally hot-footed it to us to join us this evening. He was meant to be with us for the pre-show, but Tom Doughty stepped in and did very well indeed. But Si performed so well when Exeter met Hartpury here at the Gilmans. He's been invited back for this semi. And Si, how do you see this one going tonight?
Bit of a cop-out, but genuinely think it's too close to call. You know, I think over the last few years, form would suggest Hartpury, but Bath certainly won't be intimidated coming here. They've done the double on Hartpury. They've done the double on Exeter, another big club in the league. So, you know, a betting man, you know, wouldn't know what way to go. I think it could go either way.
Well, this is what semi-finals are all about. Two teams playing top rugby and no one knowing who's going to come out on top. And it's even Stevens at the breakdown at the moment, a penalty apiece, fiercely contested with two hungry back rows, both performing so well throughout the season. You can imagine that that is going to be one of the battlegrounds that is going to determine where the win goes tonight.
Yeah, I think you know, a massive boost for Hartpury in recent weeks has been Harry Wilson's return. He spent a fair bit of time out in the new year with a nasty complication to a dead leg, and he's got bags of experience, bags of skill, and so him at number 8, I'll keep an eye on him for Hartpury.
Well, Hartpury fluffed their lines on their first line out of the day, but they managed to mop up the mess through Toby Venner. Some fancy footwork. Gives the ball back to Luke Boone, who is chopped high round the neck. 3 penalties in as many minutes to open up proceedings. Both teams probably slightly on edge. There's plenty at stake here. Just think, the 3rd, the 4th years featuring in this game, it's their last opportunity to get to Twickenham for that day of glory.
Yeah, it's a great occasion, and you know, you don't want this to be your last game in the shirt. You want that, you know, fairy tale ending at Twickenham. So that'll certainly be in the back of their minds, but they've got to close that out and focus on the game at hand.
Well, it's the second line out of the evening for Hartpury, and this one goes to script all the way to the back, and they build their driving maul.
Don't change.
It's halted initially, and there's plenty of Bath tentacles in there disrupting, not adjusting their bind. Looks like the referee's calling it for it to be used, but the brothers have stolen it.
Change of bind.
Though adjudged nefariously. Another penalty. 3 Bath have conceded now before we hit the 5-minute marker. For those of you at home who can hear the roars, the chants, they are Bath fans. 2 busloads put on today to bring them to this game. That's what it means to the club. There were rumours of 40 boys coming from Leeds down to Topsham to see Leeds Beckett turn Exeter over. And a bit of a shock though, Leeds Beckett have been in sensational form, side.
Yeah, I mean, I really rate that from Bath and from Leeds, you know, bringing fans down to massive games like that. It shows, you know, I think that's a sign of a strong university rugby club if you can get the whole club to buy into supporting the first 15 and doing well in BUCS Super Rugby. And yeah, on with
as we see Nathan Chamberlain, first kick of the evening, sail to the left of the uprights.
Let's go again.
Yeah, Burns is just.
Waiting for you guys.
Yeah.
No, you're just waiting. Okay, 15.
So Chamberlain, errant from the tee. Unusually, fantastic record all season, top scorer in BUCS Super Rugby, an 81% success rate, but 0% so far tonight. As Bath go long and they look to counter. Plenty of ambition being shown by Hartpury in these opening salvos, looking to run it from their own half. Saw a lot of kicks going up in the warm-ups from both sides, but at the moment running rugby seems to be the order of the day, but Bath put it into touch. They take the play between the 22 and the 10-metre line, their own half, and it is going to be a Hartpury line out.
Tempo. Lou said, let's not change that bind again, please.
Hartpury with clean ball off the top. They go to Clementson in the middle,
Rip before tackle complete.
who's turned over by the brothers, and it's into the hands of the dangerous Will Partington, who kicks long to fresher Jack Johnson. He's impressed this season for the university side and also the championship side.
Yeah, he has. He made his debut for the RFC in the Championship Cup, and he's a very impressive ball runner and very impressive kicker under the high ball. So he's got a bright future, definitely.
Whoa, no, stay here, no winger. Better, no winger still.
Well, Bath finding things heavy going in their own 22 currently. They're looking to play some rugby in the Hartpury half, but at the moment the men in red have them manacled in their own territory as they once again take play beyond the halfway line. Biggs coming round the corner. Muscle to the ground. Angus Soughton feeds Alex Gibson. A two-man hit fells him.
High, blue 12.
But another high tackle on Biggs. Bath need to be wary of the penalty count.
Blue 12, high.
The referee not having a word at the moment, but it's certainly something they're going to want to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you don't want to get on the wrong side of the ref, and I don't think Bath have had one yet, and they've possibly given away 4 or 5. So they want to keep an eye on that. But really impressive from Biggsy there, going around the corner. He's really stepped into Will Crane's shoes well after, unfortunately, Crane's season was ended just the other side of Christmas. So Biggsy's really impressed at the moment and leading around the corner, taking a high shot in the chops and winning a penalty for his team.
It's a dynamic start from Hartpury. A lot of ball in hand, a lot of willingness to play. We're seeing forwards pop up in the middle, looking to make those big dents to free up the speedsters out wide.
Yeah, they've certainly tried to play in the middle third before kicking it, which is always nice. They've clearly got a plan to take Bath on 2 or 3 phases, maybe 4, and then if they're going nowhere, then put boot to ball. Which always rate, rather than just kicking ball away off first phase. They're having a look, having a go. Clearly got a plan, but equally not overplaying.
Well, Will Biggs receives a bit of treatment for that shot round the chops. That yielded the penalty that's taken the play up to the outskirts of the Bath 22. The score 0-0. Just after 10 minutes, they go for that back ball again with success. And they build another drive. Bath really countering it successfully. Getting a lot of men in, driving in between the seams.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best ball you want to drive off. You want to be driving from the tail of the line out, but and it's hard to defend once they win it there. But to be fair to Bath, they've dealt with it well after looking like they're in a sticky situation there.
Hartpury retain possession and they carry tight. Bath defence holding up at the moment. Yards difficult to come by as Austin Hay calls his Bath defenders around the corner.
Hartpury trying to switch the play here. It's definitely on.
Here we go. Hands will do it. But a good tackle. Bath defence coming out of the line, halting the progress. Hartpury looking excellent at the moment. Plenty of willing runners and secure hands. None more so than Robbie Smith. 3 man of the matches in the league this season. 8 tries to his name.
Thank you for.
He really is the fulcrum of the Hartpury centres. Hartpury into the hands of Chamberlain, who sells the dummy, weaves through. He's dragged down just short. Hartpury 3 meters away. The bar defender steps out, an opening, slam shut. Hartpury still plugging away, this time through Clementson. Big counter up from Bath. Austin Hayes sniffs an opportunity for a turnover.
It's through the middle, it's knocked on after.
A knock on in the process. Bath thought they had it for a moment. Hartpury meters away from the opening try. And good attack and good defence from both sides.
Yeah, spot on. I mean, as comfortable as Hartpury looked with the ball, so do Bath in defence. You know, they haven't looked overstretched there. You know, Hartpury tried that switchback play and come back down the short side, and Bath countered it really well. So Bath D looking very comfortable, although Hartpury knocking on the door.
Hartpury knocking on the door indeed. No entry. And the play will restart with our first scrum of the game. 16 big young boys, all looking to stamp their set-piece authority on the game early.
Let's go, gents, time on.
Yeah, this is certainly an area I think, you know, Hartpury may have the upper hand. They've always had a good set-piece, and, you know, with someone like Alex Gibson at tight head, bags of experience, 2 BUCS gold medals, England students caps, RFC championship caps. You know, I think if he gets the upper hand over his loose head today, it could, you know, go a long way to determining the end of this game.
Stay where you are.
Both packs ready themselves. But the referee not happy with something. Steps in. We'll be looking to get the scrum set piece right early. Certainly not an evening for resets when it's so clear, so dry, and absolutely ideal for running rugby, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to tempt fate here, but you can almost smell summer around the corner. You know, the pitch is hard, the sun's still out, it's nice and dry, and yeah, it's perfect for running rugby. So hopefully this gets out and the backs can have a crack.
Well, the ball squirts out. Hartpury take it on. It's slightly messy. They continue to probe down the blind side. They're in the furthest corner of the field from our commentary position, so it's tricky to see.
Sack all the way, 5!
But it looks to be 2 meters short, and they're keeping it tight. They're looking to suck in the Bath defence, but they're not committing. They still got numbers, but it goes out the back. Burst through the first tackle, brought down 1 meter short. The Bath defence hold up. Hartpury continue to go route 1, 2 meters. They're driven back a meter. Jacko Davies is calling defenders out to that wide side. It looks like it's open up for Chamberlain. He sells a dummy, but he's met by 2 brothers. They pick him up and they wrestle him back. They've still got him held up, but he wrestles to the floor. Still they go down the right-hand side. And this time, they cross the paint for the opening score. The Bath defence could no longer hold up. And it looks to be Angus Soughton who gets up with the ball. Hard work for Hartpury, but rewarding work ultimately as they lead 5 points to 0.
Yeah, I thought Nathan Chamberlain had butchered that there. He sort of should have just drawn and given. There was about 3-man overlap in the corner, but they recycled the ball well. And
well, Angus Soughton, a really key element of this Hartpury side from a playing point of view, an off-field point of view, real character in the club.
Yeah, and he's really taken on board that line-out calling responsibility this year, something he's learnt from and he's improved as the season's gone on. And you know, when they pit the BUCS boys against the RFC boys in training, he can certainly be a handful when I'm having to run a line-out against him. So yeah, once he gets his line-out going, and not just that, going around the park as well, as you see with the try there, he's a key player for Hartpury.
So Nathan Chamberlain here trying not to be distracted by the gorgeous vista in front of him. His eyes lasered in the centre spot between the poles. As it sneaks in that left upright, he waited, he leaned like a golfer in a pro tournament, and he managed to wrap it round the right side of the post to maximise that score from Soughton in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. Hartpury 7 points to the good. 16 minutes gone. We haven't seen a chance for Bath to attack yet. Will Partington's going to send this long, and they're hopefully going to get some territory and maybe, just maybe, some possession.
Yeah, you're right. As impressive as their defence has been, they'll be you know, gagging to get on the ball and just spend some time in the Hartpury half with ball in hand and see what they can do, because they've been defending heroically but not doing much else.
Well, Max Clementson returns it with a bit of interest, which tees up Chamberlain to put the ball out of play. It's going to be a Bath line out just inside their half by the centre line. The first opportunity to see their set piece, and the first opportunity to see the ball in hand. 64 points they scored last week, 9 tries. It was an absolute free-for-all. From 1 to 15, the points coming, literally. Austin Hay to Will Partington and all in between.
First man,
that overthrow is taken by Bath before it's turned over by Hartpury, but the ball spills loose. And here we go. Bath find a bit of room through Will Hughes in the scrum hat, wearing the 13 jersey. That goes out the back. There's room down the left. And here's Nisbet searing through, brought down on the 10. To Catlin, the man mountain in the 8 jersey. Chopped. That's how you get him down. Partington does well to hold it and then puts in a cheeky little kick 10 metres shy of the Hartpury line to put pressure on the home line out and get some much needed territory for the visitors.
Yeah, impressive from Bath. I thought they'd overcomplicated their line out at the beginning there, but then off the back of it they got some really good front foot ball, you know, some passive tackles from Hartpury on the front foot, grubber in behind, make Hartpury exit. It's good play from Bath.
Well, from being a country mile from the play when Hartpury opened the scoring, we've got box office seats here to see that line out. And what an exit from Hartpury. Easy as you like. They keep the ball in play.
This is where Bath are dangerous though on the counter.
Brandon Bellarmine counters. He's met by a red wall. Jack Kenningham, the new man, the Quins Academy man who has impressed so much this season. His work rate
penalty advantage
is one that's tough to be matched. Partington stepping into first receiver. Bath won't mind not making too much progress. They'll just want their hands on the ball, bringing their runners into the play, getting comfortable in attack. They're making steady progress, a yard at a time, but the referee calls the play back for a penalty. And are we going to see Bath have a shot at the poles to reduce arrears? No. Captain Alex Burridge plumps for the corner. And Bath last week, of those 9 tries, 6 from driving mauls. 2 to Tom Doughty, a hat-trick to James Hadfield, and a penalty try. That penalty try denying Doughty his hat-trick. This is a key moment for Hartpury and their defence.
Yeah, the Hartpury boys have been working on their line-out D a lot in the week against us, and they've been looking good. They know it's a threat from Bath, so they've been working on this part of their game a lot. Although they've got the upper hand here, Bath.
Yeah, they've done their homework, but knowing what's coming is one thing. Actually stopping it is another. It's steady progress, inching away, eking those yards. James Hadfield's tiptoes painfully close to the touchline paint. And eventually taken out. There's a discussion as to who took it out. It was a Hartpury hand. So Bath get another crack, 7 metres out. They can build the same wedge, the same momentum. It's looking ominous for Hartpury.
Yeah, although they dealt with that well. Alex Gibson got his hand on the ball and, you know, unfortunately walked out with it. But you know, getting hands on ball there is a bad sign for Bath. So we'll see what they do here.
They go to Kenningham at the back. Angus Hinton, their go-to man. He calls the shots. The backs rush in. They smell blood. But it's brought to the floor short. They're all the way up to the line. They're inches from the paint. Nestled round that breakdown. Blue jerseys galore. Who's going to go for the coup de grace?
Coming back.
The referee calls a penalty.
Collapse.
Dragged down by Hartpury. The blue jerseys rushing in to give that final impetus to take the brothers across the line. Hartpury dragging it down. Into the corner we go.
Red line is yours.
A third line out on the trot to defend. And this is sapping stuff for Hartpury as well.
Yeah, it's hard to defend. They've got to stop it early. As soon as it gets going, you know, you've got to give away a penalty or give away a try. You need to stop it at source. So I'd like to see Hartpury either sack it here or smash it really early on and make the refs say use it earlier rather than later.
Well, in the last game that UCO conned on when Exeter were in town, Hartpury tried to employ the tactic of not engaging, sending, I think it was Clementson round to try and submarine it, but it failed miserably. I take it that tactic's out the window these days.
Yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't do it on my own 5 metre line. You know, 15, 20 out, you can run that risk because it is a risky tactic.
Yeah, that's fine.
They go to Hinton. Slightly messy when it's brought down. It's in the hands of Hadfield, the hat-trick man from last week.
Shift.
But fascinatingly, the backs who came steaming in to lend a hand to their pack join in front of Hadfield. The referee calls offside, and that is a chance gone begging for Bath in a prime position to equalise the scoreboard.
Backs think they can get involved in our lineouts.
Shame on them. It's becoming a blight on the game, seeing centres come in and stealing these tries from the pack, isn't it? Well, safety first from Chamberlain takes the play just beyond the Hartpury 22. It is their throw.
Red in.
23 minutes played here, 7-0 to the home side. The line out functioning very nicely indeed for Hartpury. Toby Venner puts it on the toe into the midst of one of the most dangerous counterers on the field. Will Partington, he goes for the boot as well. A lovely kick turning Venner,
Red, come out.
who returns this time into touch. Partington pouches. Bath looking to attack down the left through Captain Burridge. They're up to the halfway. Partington into first receiver once again. They're trying to get his hands on the ball as much as possible. 112 points this season. 6 tries, 4 man of the matches.
Okay.
The Bath go to the laces once more.
Thank you, Phil.
A bit of a chess match at the moment, Si.
No, he was inside.
Yeah, a bit frantic there, but you know, as I said earlier, Bath finally getting their hands on some possession and unfortunately not capitalising the 22. But a bit of ping pong and you know, neutral outcome there.
Well, 25 minutes has flown by in this half. Who would you say is going to be the happiest of the two teams out there?
You know, probably Hartpury, but you know, if you said to Bath, come here 50th time and you're only 7 down and you've got it at half and cause them some problems, then you know, you might even take that, because some teams have been put away by this time. Gilman's, so probably Hartpury on balance, but Bath won't be too disappointed.
Thank you. Down by blue, play on.
Well, they do well to defend the line out. Not much yardage made. The Bath carry knocked on in the contact. It's going to be a free roll of dice, and it's into JJ's hands in the 15 jersey, who finds his supporting winger, the cult hero, Irvin Murick. Before possession is kicked away once again. It's a scrappy period, this. No team really asserting their authority. As I've just seen the 14 jersey up close, it looks like that's actually Elias Caven. Him and Irv have swapped jerseys rather considerately for the commentary team.
No, we're playing.
But we spotted it early, so that should keep the Twitter trolls at bay for the rest of the evening.
Another opportunity for Hartpury. A bit sloppy there from Bath, kicking out on the full, so Hartpury get another go.
Well, Hartpury currently down to 14 men. Max Clementson receiving treatment. Back on the Hartpury 10-metre line, up by our commentary vantage point, which means the pack are light on personnel, but they continue to make progress, bringing the play up to the 22, and Bath are struggling to contain them at the moment as more red jerseys join the melee. They're continuing to trundle. They haven't stopped yet. Angus Hinton, the Bath man, causing trouble there, but Bath have broken away, and here we go. Wonderful cover tackle. Sees the ball spill loose, and this is fast and loose. Hartpury now attacking, stepping through the middle.
Clear obstruction there, gents.
The referee calls play back.
Clear obstruction, red's coming back.
For clear obstruction. Heart in the mouth stuff for Bath supporters. One moment, it was the blue and golds bursting up the field. Sensational cover tackle. Who was that? Toby Venner?
Yeah, that's Toby. He's really he's come on leaps and bounds, and you know, he's made that 9-shirt his own. Gets a good pace, good hands, great boot on him as well.
Well, stiff competition with Ben George sat on the bench, an England student, and you know, he's a little general when he's on the pitch. So Toby Venner's done well to displace him from the 9 jersey.
Yeah, definitely, and also like from a Hartpury point of view, you know, having someone like Ben George coming off the bench and add that composure and experience later on in the game is also a positive. So to have that strength and depth at 9 is only a good thing for Hartpury, I think.
Well, a sad sign here as we see Bath forced into an injury replacement.
It's a knock on from blue.
With 30 minutes gone, trailing 7 points to 0.
This is your mark. You go there.
It's been closely fought tooth and nail. I thought this would be a points fest. Speaking to Tom Doughty before the match, he predicted a tight, low-scoring affair. And he's proving to be the knowledge on what we've seen before us. Handling has been excellent, though the conditions are perfect. I think this only our second scrum of the game. Hartpury minced Bath in the first encounter. This one looks steadier. The referee calling for Hartpury to use it. And they find the swerve, who bursts from his right wing. He's been a sensation this season. Working his way up from the 13, takes Hartpury up to the 22, and they put width on it going left. They find Elias Caven, who dances outside, but dragged down. Hartpury players lining up to take this ball now. Chamberlain marshalling them out in the backfield. Bath are under pressure here. What a time this would be for Hartpury to score. Chamberlain feeds it to Margette, puts some footwork, but it turns to indecision. He's taken down by the Bath defence.
Step, three.
And Hartpury slow it down. Big men coming round the corner. Zigzagging left to right. Bath handling things well. They've got penalty advantage and they've got an opportunity to break. They put the ball on the toe. And it's a foot race. But Jack Johnson cleans up the mess, but a loose pass to the shins of Irvin Murick, sees the ball trickle into touch. Bath come away with a 65-metre gain when it looked like they might concede, but they have a chance to attack the Hartpury line with 9 minutes remaining in this half.
Yeah, a bit of a get out there for Bath. Looked like they might concede again, but that's a massive change. That could.
Well, so we touched on it in the build-up that you featured in a couple of semi-finals. Won one, lost one. When you get to the semi-final stage, all 4 teams are talented. All 4 teams deserve to be there. How much of the battle is mental? How much of it is handling the occasion?
I think, you know, it's massively mental. I mean, the semi-final that we won when I was involved against Loughborough at Topsham in 2017, you know, first half we were all caught up in the emotion, you know, the prospect of it being your last game in the shirt, prospect of it being your last game at Topsham for some of the boys. And in the first half we were cagey and we calmed down and turned it around, and it's about managing those emotions. And then last year, you know, I'll be the first to hold my hand up and say we capitulated, and our mental preparation wasn't right, and Hartpury came down and had the mental preparation there, and they deserved to win. So yeah, I completely agree. At this stage of the tournament, as you say, the quality is on show for all the teams, and it's about how you manage that quality and manage your emotions.
Well, both sides so far seem to be handling those emotions very well. Pretty settled game so far. Low on the error count. And Hartpury standing up to this weapon of Bath's, the driving maul that they've gone to consistently, persistently in this half, and Bath not getting as much change as they'd probably like.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, a massive focus of Hartpury is to stop this driving line out, and you know, if you can stop the set piece, then that has a knock-on effect to the back line and stuff. So I think, you know, it's an old cliche, but if you win up front, it goes a long way to determining the game.
So with that semi-final experience in your mind, what's the feeling going to be like down in Exeter, having won the league but fallen short of a day out at Twickenham?
Well, I know they're already in the Chev, which is one of the spoons down in Exeter. So, you know, it's Uni Rugby at the end of the day. You know, everyone would love to head to Twickenham, but you know, if that's your last BUCS game in the green and white, it's exactly what we did last year. We lost, we held up, you know, had a bit of a mope, and then went, all right, boys, let's go and enjoy our last social as a team. And you know, you think about the good times rather than the bad times of the day. So they'll be gutted, but they'll be enjoying they'll be having a good night.
I've no doubt they will, with timepiece following shortly on the agenda for them, as we see Partington. He's been lively this half. He rides that tackle incredibly, drops the ball onto the toe, but Venner is on the counter. We saw a sensational length of field try from him against Exeter earlier in the season. Dragged down on the halfway, Robbie Smith offloads to Margette. He's isolated, no support, but he incredibly finds Cayman, who goes inside. Venner's in support. Hartpury still going. They're up to the 22. They've opened up Bath here, and they're at 6s and 7s. Chamberlain looking for the right pass. He breaks the tackle, offloads. Dangerous times for the brothers, trying to reorganise their defence, but Hartpury continue to get behind them. Will Biggs, that looks like, stepping inside. There's a Hartpury man down. The referee awards a penalty for offside. Terrific scramble defence from the Bath players, who've got their hands on their heads, exhausted from reorganising themselves in a rush. I think that's Will Hopwood down for Hartpury, receiving some attention. Chamberlain plumping for the poles. And you'd say Hartpury into a 10-0 lead.
Yeah, that's some wonderful play from Hartpury there in attack. You know, the offloads, the lines of running, you know, made them about a 40-yard gain there. So Hartpury would have wanted more there, but they'll take the 3 points. You know, keep building that lead.
In our experience in this tournament, I'd say that Hartpury have maybe had a reputation as a slightly more pragmatic side than they've shown to be this season. It seems to be a lot of adventure for them to throw the ball around, you know, from their 22 to really run the ball a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a sign of a good team that you can have more than one plan. You're right. Normally they're built on good set piece, good defence, and grinding teams down. But that's not their sole strength. And I think you'll find, like, if Bath can get their back line going, then that'll show you the quality they've got as well. But if you rely on, if you're a one-trick pony, then you're gonna get found out. So having two sides to your game is definitely a good thing.
Well, look at that shot from our cameraman at the moment. Absolutely glorious down in Cheltenham. That's right, we are in Cheltenham, it's not the Serengeti.
I think a few of the Gloucester boys will have issues with you calling this part of the GL postcode Cheltenham, but
oh really, is that a hot topic of contention, is it?
Well, it's about 15 miles away, Cheltenham, so it's not the same place.
Just goes to show what my geography degree from Exeter has done me. Apologies to those in Cheltenham. We're here in the GL postcode. We're seeing a bit of concerted attention to Will Hopwood. Hopefully he's okay. It doesn't look too pretty at the moment. Gives both sides a chance to catch a breather. Assess the goings on of this opening half, which our clock says 37 minutes and is still ticking, but there will be some injury time. It's not an exact clock, it's an approximation. We'll be playing to the referee's time on the scoreboard here down at the Gilmans. 8 minutes and 22 seconds left. But Hopwood's up to his feet. You'd imagine he might be heading to the sidelines for a bit more attention, having been on the floor for that long. But no, seems to be okay. Rejoins his teammates. A little high five from his back row buddy, Max Clementson. And we're back to Chamberlain at the tee for a sitter that I'm pretty confident he's going to nudge through. Chamberlain duly delivers, and it is Hartpury 10, Bath 0 in this BUCS Super Rugby semi-final fixture, brought to you by Yoti. Leeds Beckett awaits in the final on the 10th of April, having vanquished Exeter at Topsham 15 points to 21 earlier in the day. 3 tries apiece, 3 conversions from Connor Lloyd for Beckett. No conversions for Exeter. Kicks proving the difference. How important is that, having a kicker who kicks his goals?
Yeah, well, obviously massively. It could have gone to extra time today if Samuel had taken his kicks, but you know it's not down to him. You could argue if Exeter scored another try, then it'd have been different as well. So yes, kickers are very important, and Sam is a very good kicker, so I'm sure he'll be kicking himself about that. But it's not all on the kicker's head. You can make up a lot of other excuses about missed tackles or other tries of the opposition being created. So certainly not all to blame on the kickers, but if you have a good one in store, then they can certainly get you out of a sticky situation.
Well, Chamberlain started well this evening. He did miss his first, but he's got a conversion and a penalty to his name now. He did miss an 80th minute conversion in the fixture here at Gilmans earlier in the season, after Irvin Murick scored late to take the score to 11 points to 13. That's how it finished. We've seen him slot some goals under immense pressure, so a rare slip up from Chamberlain. He's a real marksman in front of the sticks.
Yeah, if I was Bath here, I'd be tempted to go for the points. Just register something. There's 5 minutes left. The drive's been compromised so far. Yeah, and they've gone for it. Just get on the scoreboard and get it ticking over.
Almost like you got an earpiece into Alex Burridge out there, Si.
No, I've just chosen to go for the corner on far too many big occasions, so I've learned when to take the points now.
How are you finding captaincy in the Championship compared to university?
Yeah, pretty similarly. I know I've got some really experienced players in the team, so it's not a one-man job, and learning a lot of people who've been there and done it. We've got some people who played international rugby and played Premiership rugby in the squad, so learning off them has been really helpful. But equally, I haven't changed too much. I must have been doing something right to be doing it extra and then to be asked to do it. So I just sort of try not to change too much.
Will Partington lines up his first kick of the evening. And it's a successful one, which raises a roar from the travelling Bath support, 80 of them here at the Gilman's crowd. Really out cheering the home audience at the moment. It's quite deathly here, in fact, which is unusual. Usually big home contingent cheering on the men in red, but Bath definitely bringing the noise in terms of supporters tonight. And finally they've got something to cheer about, with Will Partington slotting the first points of the night. It's Hartpury 10, Bath 3, but they take that clean from the kickoff and launch another attack to see this half out. Approximately 4 minutes remaining, our clock's in the red, but as I said, it's an approximation. The ball squirting out into the supporting players' hands.
Don't play the 9.
And Chamberlain shows, breaks through the gap, finds Robbie Smith, who powers on through. He's still not wrestled to the floor. Finally, 10 metres short. Can Hartpury finish the half with a flourish? They continue to go right. Venner orchestrating his forwards. Biggs, he's been busy this half. Plenty of carries to his name. Chamberlain feeds it out to Smith, who goes on that outside arc. He's taken to the floor. Elias Caven was hugging the left touchline, but the Bath Drift defence was a match to it.
Say again. Penalty advantage.
Hartpury rebuild. 3 big men trundle forward. Chamberlain. Oh, little trick play, and that is extraordinary. How did he find the room to give the ball to Jack Johnson? He caught the ball with his fingertips. It was tricky to see what actually happened there, but the referee awarded it immediately. Let's have a look at this replay, because there's a bit of magic here from Nathan Chamberlain. Wow, he goes to the grubber through, deflects off the Bath charger, which puffed the ball up into the air, and Jack Johnson was first to react to it. To dive over to give Chamberlain the chance to slot through the conversion to take the score to 17-3. Elias Caven, the man reacting first there. My apologies. And it's a bit of a shock to Bath there.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do, is concede before half time. You know, Bath need to score now before half time. Oh, they've gone for a short one early as well. They need to score before half time, or this could be a long evening for them.
And they've come away with it. There's been an injury to Robbie Smith that the referee's called play back for. Probably a head knock for him to call it that quickly, and he looks quite disorientated.
It's your ball, attacking scrum.
Jake Henry there, Hartpury RFC winger, providing comedy as always.
Time's off. It's an attacking scrum over there. 1 minute.
So the doctor on, having a look at Robbie Smith. Robbie Smith he's been a player who's been awesome for Hartpury this season.
Yeah, he has. He's very powerful, very fast, and you've already seen today he's cut some nice lines, so he's proven dangerous all season.
Well, there they are, the travelling supporting Bath contingent, gone out in their blue blazers with gold pinstripes. There are certainly some ropey fashion statements in this league when you take into account the Palatinate jackets of Durham as well, Si.
Yeah, purple jackets, yeah.
Spoken like a true EURFC alumni.
Thank you, gents.
Well, some good sportsmanship displayed there between Robbie Smith and Will Partington. Smith is led from the field, I imagine for an HIA. Will Partington with the short restart He's been looking to make something happen for the brothers every time he's got his hands on the ball. So sparky, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Bath need a score before half time, and he caught Hartpury unawares there, went for the short one, and now they've got a platform to, hope to take 3, maybe 7 into half time.
Crouch! Really would like to be taking something more than 3 points into the sheds with them. 14 points, big deficit in a semi-final that's been taut and tense. Hartpury have been clinical with their opportunities, and would it be fair to say that Bath have looked a bit flat?
Potentially, but I think as we said, they've conceded 2 tries, but they've been defending well. They've made Hartpury work for their tries, and it's a hostile place to come. And yeah, you could argue they're a bit flatter than Hartpury, but they're certainly in this game. Next score is crucial, though. If Hartpury get another try, then it does start looking tough for Bath.
Fine. Set.
Stable scrum comes down on the near side. Referee with his arm out for a penalty. And what's the decision here, Si?
Whatever Bath go for. No, I'd probably go for the points here. Yeah, 17-6 going to half time is not insurmountable, and especially off the back of their drive not working 2 or 3 times in the 22.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to say I'd go for the points after the Bath players gestured to the referee with the ball at the sticks there, Si. That's not why we brought you in on the mic tonight.
No, it's the right call.
So Will Partington 1 from 1. Mentioned in the build-up, Hugo Stiles has been their regular kicker this season. Picked up an ankle injury, tried to come back as a substitute last week, but exacerbated it further. He's not even in the 23. Will Partington, a real superstar at fullback. Kicked 6 conversions last week, did miss a few penalty goals. He was successful with his first of the evening. Is he going to make it 2 from 2? Well, the touch judges, flags, and the roar from the Bath supporters will tell you that one's gone straight and true. And it signals the end to an absorbing first half that Hartpury leads 17 points to 6. It was Hartpury who opened the scoring, a try from their second row, Angus Soughton, converted by Nathan Chamberlain. He's only missed an opening penalty, but he's added another conversion and another penalty on the night. The second try coming from Elias Caven after a deflected grubber presented a golden opportunity for Caven to swan dive onto the ball, lingering in the air, before Will Partington's 2 penalties have pegged things back for the brothers. They trail by 11. It's all to play for in the second 40 of this BUCS Super Rugby semi-final, brought to you by Yoti. Leeds Beckett awaiting in the final to be played on the 10th of April. So 17-6 here, the crowd dissipating, off to grab a coffee, off to grab a pint. We might treat ourselves to a gasp of air and a glass of water as you guys hear from our sponsors Yoti.
It was so much easier because I had already set up from the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
You don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and it's quite versatile as well.
So Yoti are sponsors. They're protecting your digital identity, but more important than that, they're the reason that we're bringing you this semi-final down the stream to you tonight on England's Facebook page, on BUCS' YouTube channel, and wherever else you might be watching it. Exeter drowning their sorrows in Devon at the moment. Leeds, Beckett, bus probably rocking on the M5 as we speak. 11 games undefeated. The only blemish on their 2019 is a draw with Cardiff Met, but they've won every game. In fact, the turning point of their season was beating Bath after they were humiliated by Cardiff, but they are a team on the roll. As we can show you a few highlights from this first half. 2 tries to speak of. Here's the opener. It was patient play from Hartpury before Angus Soughton managed to wriggle through the attentions of Will Partington, and another Bath would-be attacker. There's some footage of the way that Hartpury have pretty expertly dealt with Bath's most potent weapon, the driving maul. Scramble defence has been seen from both sides. Toby Venner thwarting a Bath breakaway. For the end of the half, brought a fortuitous and opportunist try for Elias Caven. The Bath charge down, sitting up nicely for a full stretch dive for Caven to give Chamberlain the chance to add another conversion to the one he nudged earlier in the half and the penalty. The score 17-6 here at the Gilmans in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. Si, what would you say are the messages being delivered by first the Hartpury coach Sean Lynn and then Aaron James for Bath in the half-time interval?
Yeah, I think Linney would probably be saying more of the same. The line-out's gone well for Hartpury. They've had good territory, good possession, not too many penalties, and I think if they keep going in that vein, it should go their way. From a Bath point of view, I think Aaron would probably be saying stick in there. They haven't quite hit their straps in attack yet, but despite conceding 17 points, they've showed good bits of defence, and the discipline's what's let them down. Early on, I think they gave away 5 or 6 penalties in the first 15 minutes, so that'll really put you on the back foot. So I think cut out the penalties, get the ball in hand, and go through some phases inside the Hartpury third, because at the moment, even when they have got the ball, it's been 30 metres out. They haven't really had the ball 10, 15 metres out, other than a couple of drives that Hartpury dealt with. So cut out the penalties, get some possession and get some territory, and they're right in this, especially if that crowd keeps being as vocal as it is.
Yeah, the stakes are so high for Bath players in the sheds at the moment. Some of them will be thinking, this is going to be the last 40 minutes of rugby that I play for my university if we don't turn this around. How do they maintain composure? How do they stop themselves from trying to force the play, to force themselves back into the game and potentially create more problems for themselves?
Yeah, I said it earlier, but you touched on the emotion side of things. You can harness it and it can be a positive force, but if you let it get too much of you, then it can really cost you. And I think they've got to use that emotion. They've got to use the fact that they're away at Hartpury, and Hartpury having won the last 2 years with all that reputation at stake, it's a massive scalp for them if they can do it. And on the flip side, Hartpury have probably got the pressure. They've got a reputation to uphold. They've been there and done it the last 2 years, and numerous occasions before that. So for them, it's a different type of pressure. But whereas for Bath, it's a whole new chance for them. I don't know when the last time Bath got to Twickenham was. So for them, it's a really massive occasion in a different sense. But they'll both be feeding off that pressure, I think.
You talk about the pressure that's on Hartpury. Like, winning is something that's instilled. It's something that is a habit. And I'm just looking at the week that Hartpury, as a club, as a college, as a championship side, have in front of them. They've got countless teams at the Rosslyn Park Sevens. They've got a side at the World Schools Festival in Stellenbosch in South Africa. The women played today. They lost to Durham away. And then Hartpury RFC, they're battling but to escape relegation in the championship, but doing very well. 3 games out of their last 4 they've won. So winning is very much a culture within the club as a whole.
Yeah, I mean it's a rugby factory here. Like there's no other way of describing it. This is the main first team pitch. But if you look behind us, behind the main stand, they've got another 4 or 5 pitches, 2 AstroTurfs, and people come here to play rugby, and it's a good academic place as well. But to be fair, rugby all the way from 16 to 23 or whenever you are, and then afterwards, if you want to play in the men's team or the women's seniors, it's rugby's what they breathe off here.
Well, as you said, it's a rugby factory. There's going to be lads in the future who are Hartpury man and boy. They'll have gone to college, moved into the university, and then probably gone on to play for the RFC in the championship or higher. What are the aspirations of the RFC?
Well, the RFC as a team, I think we're already punching up. So I don't. Premiership is a realistic ambition, but everyone wants to go on and play at the highest possible level and walk down the hallway.
This is the first big one, so
those players. So, as an individual, you can set your sights high at Hartpury, but I think the RFC, it'll be a while till you see them in the Premiership, definitely.
But an exciting place to ply your trade if you are an aspiring rugby player. But first things first, for the 23 who are representing Hartpury this evening, is to finish the job here at Gilman's ground. 17-6 they lead. Again, those tries from Angus Soughton and Elias Caven giving Hartpury this 11 points cushion with 40 minutes to go. But as we've seen across the season, and most potently last week, Bath have tries aplenty within them. 9 last week against a Durham side who did the double over league winners Exeter, so no slouches by any stretch of the imagination, but Bath with tries in them. And just watching their coach Aaron James emerge, Tom Doughty, their injured captain, he's put 4 years in to take this team to where they are today. They'll be wanting to perform for him, how much he'd love to be out on the pitch vying for a place at Twickenham. That final that we'll be bringing to you, of course, down YouTube, down England Rugby's Facebook page on the 10th of April. We'll have 2 finals for you that day. The women's final first, Durham versus Exeter. It was all set to be a repeat of last year's final, Exeter triumphing over Hartpury, but Durham have turned Hartpury over up in the northeast. So it'll be Durham versus Exeter on the 10th, followed by Leeds Beckett versus Hartpury College or the University of Bath. And the only way to find out who that second team is going to be is by keeping your eyes peeled for this 40 minutes as Thunderstruck roars out across the Gilman's ground to welcome Hartpury back to the field of play. They're going to kick off this half with an 11-point lead. And Bath really need to do something. Hartpury have definitely looked the more coherent side in the first half. Bath need to come out of the traps flying.
Yeah, I think first score's key. I think if Hartpury get a try in the first 5 or 10 minutes, then Bath's heads could drop, but vice versa. If Bath score first, get a 5-pointer under their belts, or even just 3, then they'll really get a sniff, and their confidence will be right up there. And then on the other hand, Hartpury will start feeling a bit cagey, and the nerves will set in.
Well, Chamberlain has gone very, very long to James Catlin, who barrels that back, takes some yards up to the 22, and Bath through the hands, nice and early, down the right wing, and they are up to their 10-metre line. They've already had more possession in this opening 25 seconds than they did for the first 10 minutes of the first half. They'll look to starve Hartpury of the ball because they have been clinical when had the chance, as Burridge makes a break and offloads to Kenningham. But Kenningham overruns it. A forward pass called, but a nice bit of play to open up the half.
Yeah, a sign of what Bath can do as well. Yes, that went forward, but their 10 is very dangerous. Alex Burridge and with that offloading game, that's certainly something that they'll be looking to get around those big Hartpury forwards, and they've got a dangerous backline, Bath, and a sign of what they might be able to do there.
They do have a dangerous backline indeed, and added to the potency, Finn Murphy, number 23 on the field of play. He's in for Hugo Styles on the bench. He's been in rude form this season himself. Played a bit of Ireland, 18s, 7s, a deadly finisher, really strong. Maybe not out and out flatline pace, but fantastic footwork when he gets close to the line. But first things first, Bath have got as defenders. The Hartpury 23, it looks like Alex Forrester's on the field of play. 2 tries a fortnight ago against Nottingham Trent. Brings the play just shy of the Bath 22. Strong chop tackle from Bath. Chamberlain, he's had a lot of time on the ball. Margetts finds Johnson, steps inside. Clattered. Hartpury have lost a few metres here. They give it to Irv, the swerve, the cannonball. Loves contact. You could feel that up here in the stands. Bath standing resolute. Chamberlain
7 away.
Feeds Harry Wilson. 2 BUCS gold medals to his name. A damaging penalty early in this second half. Right in front of the poles. Surely Chamberlain is going to kick this.
Good call.
So Bath defence holding well until the pressure told and forced into a penalty. You said it yourself, Si, that their discipline needed to improve. They gave away a glut of penalties in the first half, and the second half has started in the same vein. It looks like they are going to be punished by Chamberlain. Well, you could hear a pin drop at the Gilmans as Chamberlain sized that kick up, but Bath breathed a sigh of relief as it slips to the side of the upright. Definitely an escape for Bath. In fact, you just
gone for the corner.
Well, you just called me up for writing 20 points to 6 down on my scorecard, and quite rightly so. So I'm going to scrub that out. It's 17-6.
I'll give Chamberlain your number if Hartpury end up losing it.
Ripped.
Well, it's a turnover from Bath, and they look to use the transition ball. Risky pass, but Austin Hay is found in the middle. A man who bleeds blue and gold.
He must move first.
Gets the penalty. Looked lucky from where I was standing.
2 must move first.
But the tackler not releasing.
Yeah, Alex Gibson looked good for it there for me, but maybe he didn't clearly release. I couldn't quite see it from here, but this is exactly the kind of in Bath needed, and they need to score here, I think. Otherwise, if they end up coughing up ball again and then find themselves back on halfway, then that's just another sort of momentum killer for them. So they've got to take something out of this. 3 or 5, they need it.
Time's off, laces.
Well, they need to capitalise on Hartpury's errors, and no doubt about it, Chamberlain missing that shot at the goal at the sticks was an error we weren't expecting to happen. And they now find themselves at the 22 in the Hartpury half. They build that driving maul once again. The driving maul that has served them so well all season. Hartpury again.
Let go.
Splitting the seams, getting their tentacles in and disrupting. Forcing Bath to play. And that's a line against the grain, dealt with well by Hartpury. Bath retained possession, it's a snipe from Ed Rimmer. Who can forget his 60-metre effort against Leeds Beckett earlier in the season? Darting through a similar size gap, but the door slammed on in this time as the forward carry, James Hadfield, the hat-trick man from last week, looking for one here at Gilman's. This is good from Bath. Chris Barry takes it forward.
Goal line!
And Bath have scored. They've managed to burrow through the cluster of red jerseys. Persistence paying off. Variety in the close quarters. Eventually seeing them cross the paint. And you said it, Si, the first try of this half would be crucial, and Bath are right back in this.
Look at them just running back, they're full of energy, they've got smiles on their faces, the crowd's kicking off, and you know, if this conversion goes over, then there's 4 points.
And the conversion has gone over indeed. And it is Hartpury 17, Bath 13. 47 minutes played here in this BUCS Super Rugby semi-final, brought to you by Yoti. Angus Hinton, the man to score that try from the replay. Will Partington with the conversion. And this has turned the game right on its head. It was just busy play from Bath. It looked like Rimmer was burrowing at the base to sling it out wide to the backs. And Angus Hinton slipped through. It was a good contest from that kickoff, but Bath come away with it. As he said, the wind in their sails a bit at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, tails are up. Look, half end off there, positive carry. Their tails are right up here and they're looking to play.
It goes out the back. Fierce rush defence from Hartpury, dealt with well by Bath. Will Hughes, the man stepping inside.
Wait.
As Burridge finds some space in the backfield. Takes the play beyond the Hartpury 10-metre line. The Bath faithful are singing. The Bath players' tails are up. Momentum is one of the irresistible forces of nature, like peer pressure and gravity.
Yeah, I can't explain it, but you're completely right. You know, as much as they'll try not to, thoughts will start creeping into Hartpury's heads now, and positive thoughts will be coming to Bath. And we've got them here, one more score and then it's on its head. So you're right, momentum. It's a funny beast, but a powerful one.
Well, you look at it across a season. You look at Leeds Beckett, a wretched old start to the year. And then they picked up the win against Bath, and they haven't been defeated for 11 games. They marched down to Topsham, get a brilliant victory, and they find themselves in the final. And you look at it on a granular scale in this 40 minutes of the game. Bath now have it, and what can they do with it? Can they turn the match around? As Miles Reed introduces himself to us for the first time, the Bath Academy player, played a number of first team games for the blue, black and white, described by England lock Charlie Ewells as an absolute freak. High praise indeed from the England lock.
Yeah, I think he's made his debut for Bath Rugby in the Prem Cup this year, so another good advert for the game, for the BUCS game, going through to the top level.
No, Jen, step away.
Miles Reed right into the fray as well. Some argy-bargy following Finn Murphy's knock-on in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti.
Thank you. Red one, sub.
I'm glad you brought up BUCS as a pathway, as an advert.
Thank you.
A new crop of talent emerging. Obviously, you've gone on to great things with Hartpury. One of your old teammates, Tom Lauday, we've just seen him move from Chiefs to Quins. Luke Northmore from this year's BUCS and last year indeed, being signed from Cardiff Met to Harlequins. He's joining his old mate Alex Dombrance.
Yeah, and I think the best two adverts are Seb Negri and Sam Skinner, playing in the Six Nations this year, and although it was brief, Sam got injured in the first sort of 30 seconds of the Italy-Scotland game. See two BUCS Super Rugby alumni packing down at 6 and 6 for Italy in Scotland was certainly impressive. So yeah, there's more and more boys getting picked up left, right, and centre. So yeah, it's great. It's a great advert. It's a great place to. It's a great shop window to show yourself off if you've got aspirations that high.
Well, it's not a great scrum window for scrummaging as far as Bath are concerned at the moment. As Hartpury take a penalty from that encounter.
Yeah, big impact there from Ollie Adkins, a really good player to have on your bench. He's been playing in the under-26 Nations for England for the last couple of months, so to bring him off the bench and have an impact like that and win a scrum pen is a great thing to have in your arsenal if you're Hartpury.
Well, that's the kind of impact that Adkins would want. His impact in the last meeting between these two was a yellow card, in fact, which, along with Aidan Burnett, which put Hartpury under sufficient pressure to lose that one by 2 points. But currently they lead by 4. They go to the back again. Not the cleanest of lifts and takes. No. But importantly, they come away with it, and that's a strong, strong carry from that man, Adkins.
No, he's not taking ball.
So good impact, just good energy. Margetts out the back to Chamberlain. Puri purring at the moment. Looking for their first points of the half. Clementson has a fumble, but regathers. Caven, the try scorer, down the left, frees up. A man with him.
Forward pass.
But the interplay leads to a forward pass. It looked to have opened up down the left flank there. Caven has had a number of positive impacts. Flight of foot, a speedster and powerful through the tackle. And of course, that opportunistic try in the first half to stretch Hartpury's lead. But a forward pass on this occasion gives Bath a degree of respite.
Yeah, I think Hartpury, really frustrated they wouldn't score there, because that'd be a nice little nerve settler. Create that buffer zone again and swing that momentum we were talking about back in their favour. So they'll certainly be frustrated that that one's gone forward there with the line begging. So find the answer way.
Still, the brothers under pressure. Scrum very, very messy.
Stood up.
That's a 50-50 for me. That I think Bath were in the 22, so the ref's giving them the pen there. But Hartpury looked pretty dominant there to me.
They are looking increasingly dominant in the scrum set piece. Bath come away with it. Alex Burridge buries it into touch. They're just short of their 10-metre line.
Red, step out.
Miles Reed loitering in the back line. A physical specimen. Looking to get him into the game as much as possible. He could have a massive 30-35 minutes if only Bath could hold on to the ball.
Thank you, gents.
As they overthrow and give Hartpury easy possession back.
Tackle release! Thank you.
They try and hold up the Hartpury runner, but he wrestles to the floor. Ball inside to Margetts, and Caven's through again. Is Caven going to get his second of the game? He offloads to Toby Venner, who's looking for his 11th of the season. Hartpury's third of the game, and yes, it is given. And you can see by the Hartpury reaction in the crowd and on the field, that one could be decisive.
Yeah, fantastic power from Eli Caven there to burst through and then find the offload, and for Venner to score with sort of 3 players hanging off him for a 9 is very impressive. 1-2, third one comes in and he squeezes over.
Well, the referee ummed and ahed. Alex Burridge did his best to get under Venner as he wriggled across the line. A fantastic supporting trailing line. Chamberlain wastes no time in adding the conversion. And that's really stunted Bath's comeback. They've struggled to deal with Caven all night. Always seems to be breaking those soft arms. And then, like any good scrum half, with the trailing supporting run, makes it 11 tries for the season. Between him, Irvin Murick, Robbie Smith, and Elias Caven. That's 39 tries this season, not a bad return.
Yeah, more under 20s quality coming on for Hartpury with Nick English. He's been playing for Wales, so certainly some more talent coming through the ranks.
Bath with a mountain to climb. 11 points the deficit, the same that they faced when the second half began. Not insurmountable, but a tall order away from home. They get their set piece functioning aerially with Jacko Davies. He's been quiet so far this evening. You usually expect a far more dynamic and Larry performance from Davies.
Yeah, I expect to see 6 or 8 on his back as well. I don't know how long he's been playing in the row for Bath, but maybe that's not helping him in this game as much. You know, he's used to getting his ball in his hands, from the back row. So, but he certainly adds a bit of weight to the engine room, which Bath can do with. So, swings and roundabouts.
Well, they've an embarrassment of riches almost in the back row this season with Catlin, Barry, Kenyon, and Davies, as you mentioned, Miles Reed. I think it's a case of maybe getting all your best men on the park.
Yeah, certainly. You know, we've said, you know, the depth with teams these days is good, but for uni rugby, you know, if you've got 4 talented back rows, you put one in the engine room, and it makes sense just to get as many good players out on the pitch as possible.
Well, the substitute, Rhys Davies, makes an immediate impact. Kenningham, a fantastic line, narrow to that breakdown, finds the gap. Bath passing a bit laboured. They find Partington through the legs to Finn Murphy. We're going to see his footwork here, but he's tended to well by Alex Forrester. Wonderful piece of magic from Will Hughes there.
Good tackle, let me come.
Bath looking for space outright. Another ball off the top. This is Jouet from the brothers.
Yeah, they've got to play now, and you know that through the legs deserves something more. So hopefully Bath can get a score out of that, because that's phenomenal skill. Threw one similar to it at Touch Ducks last year. So
yeah. Result in a try?
I think it did actually. I think it was a bit against the Chess Society.
No, he's missed the ball.
Less impressive.
Well, Bath looking for something a bit more glorious than the W against the Chess Society. But crossing in the midfield in that play, I'd love to see a replay of that. You don't see too many penalties given for that. And that's going to be infuriating, so frustrating to finally be making good progress, especially after taking a few risks. A double miss over the top, one through the legs, and then one inaccuracy in the midfield. Here we go. Goes out the back, a step inside. Wow, I think that's pretty harsh, to be honest. None of those players making much of a difference in terms of impeding the defence, wouldn't you agree?
Tackle was made, and you know they were in the way, but they were holding their lines, and they didn't actually block off any Bath players. And as I said, the tackle was made, so frustrating one for Bath. If you're a Bath fan, that's not a penalty. If you're a Hartpury fan, it is. So, and for me, in the middle, I don't know.
Away 7. No.
We see Aidan Burnett there carrying. And Bath, look at where they find themselves now. Hartpury camped on the outskirts of the Bath 22. Bath in defensive mode. A mode they found themselves in all too often, and Hartpury beginning to stretch them down the flanks.
Yes.
There'll be some tired brothers as Hartpury find the space down the left flank. It's Venner to Caven, who juggles it, gathers it, slithers across, and the referee is there to award the 4th try, and surely the try that takes Hartpury into the final at Twickenham.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about earlier. With when Bath's players have dropped, you can see they're all under the sticks now, and without doubt, it'll take a leader to sort of get their heads up, and you're still in it. Stranger things have happened, but their heads have dropped now, and Hartpury just need to keep their foot on the throat.
Stranger things have happened. As we said, the defence beginning to look tired. A lack of attention to detail down the short side. And the arch sniper, Toby Venner, darting down there. And who should be on his shoulder but the man who provided his try assist, Elias Caven, to take his 2nd of the game. Bonus points were irrelevant.
Yeah, Venner and Caven looking very dangerous today, both of them posing a lot of threats, so good to see.
Front row seats give us the chance to see Chamberlain bisect the uprights once again. 31 points to 13. Surely that is the try that takes this game beyond Bath. It's going to take a huge response. Their totemic captain Doughty in a sling on the touchline. A lot of players who've given everything to the Bath cause this season. They need to lift themselves for these remaining 18 minutes. But they're going to be up against the side. Got an 18-point lead.
Now you are, thank you.
Brimming with confidence, and they know if they just play the remainder of this game in the Bath half, then Twickenham appearance number 3 in a row is within their sights.
No, red.
As we see Partington and Reed link up. Burridge feeds out the back. Bath find a gap. Is it going to be an immediate response? An offload out the back. Bath are on the Hartpury 22.
Been really impressed with Hartpury scramble D today. They've had a couple of line breaks conceded, but the way they've worked hard to get back behind the ball and set really quickly. If you look now, that looked like a half break and a bit of danger, and now Hartpury have got good width, good numbers on feet, and barring a commentator's curse.
Wow, there it is, and Miles Reed is found with a fizzer from Alex Burridge. It splits the Hartpury defence, and Bath respond immediately. Commentator's curse, sir, you called it.
Should have.
Your Hartpury teammates won't thank you remotely for that.
Yeah, should have got someone else in who knows what they're talking about.
There we go, Miles Reed. Slides across the paint. Partington adds the extras. 11 points the deficit. Have I spoken too soon? Si certainly has. We've got 16 minutes here at the Gilmans. Bath rallying themselves, eagerly anticipating the kickoff. Unsurprisingly, a lackadaisical attitude from Hartpury returning to the halfway line.
Where's 8?
As Will Biggs leaves the field and Jordan Liney enters the fray. In this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. The Leeds Beckett boys, no doubt. Huddled somewhere, surrounded by crates, keen to discover who awaits them at Twickenham. It's Hartpury at the moment, and they'll be helped by a coach killer, a kick-off receipt error straight away from Bath.
Yeah, that will really let a bit of pressure off Hartpury there. You know, the nerves could have been creeping in there going, or are they backing on this? So have scrum here and a platform. And
Crouch.
So this BUCS Super Rugby fixture brought to you by Yoti, finally poised.
Set.
Hartpury 11 points to the good. 14 and a half minutes remaining. They're 10 metres from the Bath line and they're 5th of the night.
Tackle. Thank you, gents. I do.
The Bath supporters still in fine voice, trying to energise their men. They've got their backs to the wall at the moment. Hartpury very content to be patient. Carrying in threes before they go to Margette. It's one out the back. Chamberlain shows strong.
No blue. No.
Taken to the floor. Oh, and that is unforgivable, surely, to be giving away a penalty. 11 points down. There's only one way this ball's going.
yeah, it is, but also Bath need the ball back, so you can.
Well, I guess it's a risk worth taking. This kick will take the lead to 14 points. Still 2 scores away for Bath. Similar challenge. And Chamberlain, his easiest of the night, takes the score to Hartpury 34, Bath 20. 12 minutes remaining of one of these team seasons. And it looks like it's going to be Bath at the moment. But as he said, Si, stranger things have happened in BUCS Super Rugby. And that'll do nicely for Bath, a penalty right from the restart.
Knock on, red 19 offside. Up to me, Phil. Thank you.
Bath go straight to the corner. There's a sense of urgency about them. They look composed approaching the line out. Goes to Kenningham at the back. And it's a solid drive that they've built. Alex Nesbitt joins. Will Hughes loitering, looking to get involved in the action. But Hartpury have done well to wrestle that to the floor. Kenningham, the man who took it in the line out, carries it forward, 10 metres out. Oh, they go for one more risky pass and it's picked off by Chamberlain, who puts it on the toe, and it's a foot race. Partington does exceptionally to gather the ball. He's tackled in the air from behind in the process. Unbelievable play from Partington to gather that Gaelic football-esque skills. But Chamberlain sensing that Bath need to roll the dice. They need to risk these passes, which, while they create opportunity for the brothers, they can also open the door for poaching interceptors. Bath back on the 22, they go to Kenningham. A lot of purchase at the back of the line out for them.
Another pen.
Another pen. And the referee has a word. He has more than a word. He brandishes a yellow card to Hartpury's opening try scorer. No, that's not Angus Salton.
It's Harry Wilson. Touch and go, that one. Maybe slightly harsh, but you know, Bath won't be complaining now. This is throw the dice here. 10 minutes left. One man up. They should they really need to score here.
Well, yellow cards were a factor in Bath's victory here. All the way back in November is this yellow card going to play a major role as we see a crossfield collected by Alex Forrester, who calls the mark. But it was a free shot for Bath. Hartpury infringing again. They need to watch out for this penalty count. Referee's already given one yellow card.
20.
It's going to be a stern talking to for now.
That's another one.
It is another yellow card. Extraordinary stuff here. Hartpury, 14 points in the lead. 10 minutes to go, are now down to 13 men for the remainder of the game.
I think it's...
Go with 6, gents. Okay, you must set.
Is it Aidan Burnett? I think Aidan Burnett's got two back rows off the pitch now, so Hartpury under serious pressure here.
The referee, merciless in his dishing out of the yellow cards, and it's been the impetus that Bath need to rumble across the line. It's that man, James Hadfield, a hat-trick last week, one tonight. The Bath boys racing back. It's a kick to come. If this one goes over, Bath are within 7 points, and they're fighting against 13 Hartpury men. It's not over yet.
No, certainly not. And that funny beast momentum we were talking about earlier, now if you look at Hartpury, they're cagey, their heads will be down, and Bath tails are right up. They fancy themselves here, so it'll be a hell of a finish this. Kick's crucial.
Massive kick for Will Partington. We saw 3 missed kicks at Topsham and Leeds Beckett their final berth earlier this afternoon. Can Will Partington be on target for the brothers? Yes, he can, and Bath are to within 7 points of this Hartpury team, reduced to 13 men, 2 swift yellow cards. We've got a grandstand finish, there's 7 minutes left to play. And extra time beckons if it is to be a draw at the full-time whistle. 10 minutes each way. And if locked after extra time, it goes down to tries scored. And if level on that, down to conversions. And if they're equal, it goes down to a place kick competition, Si.
Fancy myself there.
But a long way to go first
It's just a knock on.
for Bath. A no arms tackle.
No, it's knock on.
He knows himself, guys.
Jordan Liney with the big hit. I thought it was a no arms tackle for a moment, but the referee says there were arms in it. A knock on from Bath just outside their 22. Welcome respite for Hartpury. They need to try and manage this remaining 6 minutes to marshal themselves to the final, whereas Bath have everything to play for in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti.
Crouch!
Yeah, I mean, if you're Hartpury here, you don't mind 2 or 3 resets. Ideally a pen, because you haven't got many options out wide, and you're a flanker down. So.
Well, it's 8 versus 6 in the scrum, and they're going back on roller skates at the moment, but they get the ball out wide to Jack Johnson.
No, 10 away.
Did well.
No, he's not.
To get the ball away from the scrum. It was stuck in reverse, as will be the case.
No.
An 8 push against 6.
Gents, don't appeal.
Yeah, I think Hartpury doing the right thing here. Just, you know, sticking out the jumper, keep it tight. You want to keep hold of the ball here for as long as possible. Although 5 minutes is a long time, they won't be able to do this for 5 minutes.
5 minutes is a long time, but it will seem a lot shorter if they can kick this penalty. Miles Reed giving a second penalty away in his half. He's had a huge impact since he's come on. He scored a try. He's had some monstrous contact, but there is 2 infringements at the breakdown, going to ultimately be the penalties that kill off Bath's hopes of progressing to their first final since BUCS Super Rugby was established.
Well, I think it might do, but equally they're behind and they need ball. And, you know, any good back rower lives on the edge, and they take the penalties as along with the turnovers. And Bath need the ball back, so they can't just defend and hope to score tries. So they do need to compete at the breakdown. So you can forgive him for going for it. And he's obviously gotten back into the game with that brilliant try that he ran under the sticks with. So certainly wouldn't blame him for it. No.
Well, with Nathan Chamberlain, Hartpury's kicker, receiving attention, might it be a sagacious call if Chamberlain's unable to take the shot at goal. He dusts himself off, places down the tee. It's getting rowdy in the stand now for both sets of fans. A couple of away teams, looks like the seconds or thirds returning.
Yeah, I think they're at the BUCS Big Wednesday today. I'm not sure how the score went, so I think they're in playing in the trophy as well. So
I think the seconds victorious and the thirds coming unstuck. But this is where our focus is. Nathan Chamberlain to take Hartpury potentially out of reach, and to Twickenham. That sound is all you need to know. Nathan Chamberlain, the dead-eye marksman, puts it through the middle of the uprights. We've got 4 minutes left to play here at the Gilmans. Hartpury 37, Bath 27 in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. The cries of Hartpury, Hartpury ring around the Gilmans. It's a penalty to Hartpury from the kickoff. And as we approach the dying embers of the game, it's coming to that stage where I have to ask you to consider your man of the match, your Yoti man of the match, Si. It's been strong performance from both sides.
Yeah, they have. Miles Reed's come on and had a really good game, and you know, you could pick any of the Bath back line for having a great game, but and also on the Hartpury side, I think Elias Caven, obviously 2 tries, brilliant. The whole forward pack's had a great effort, but for me, I think the Yoti man of the match has to be Toby Venner. He's scored 1 try, created 2 or 3. And so for me, Toby Venner, Hartpury scrum half, Yoti man of the match.
There you have it. The Yoti man of the match, Toby Venner. A try in this second half, and also an assist for Elias Caven. He can count himself unlucky not to be picking up the award after 2 tries and a very sparky performance in this semi. This semi that looks to be going the home side's way. But a charge down in the midfield. So the ball breaks free to that man, Caven. The Gilmans ground crowd beginning to rush towards the advertising hoardings. They sense the final whistle. They sense an away day at Twickenham on the 10th of April. Their boys have faced a stiff test from a Bath team in form. Bath team who did the league double over Hartpury this year, 2 points in each game. 11-13 the score down here at Gilman's in November, before edging a 33-31 classic at the STV in December. But this is the one, this is the game that Bath wanted so badly. Semi-final regulars. There was a real sense that this was going to be their year. This was the year that they'd go to the next level and take their team to the final. To scrum to Hartpury, and time is trickling down for the University of Bath. While for Hartpury, the realisation that they will have a shot at a third BUCS Super Rugby Cup gold medal in 3 years is upon them. The knockout specialists, the men who always turn up when the heat's on. They defeated Exeter 2 years ago in the final. They defeated Cardiff Met in an all-time classic last year. And it looks like they'll be meeting another team with aspirations for their first BUCS Super Rugby Cup glory in Leeds Beckett. A bit of a flat end to the game with a few scrum restarts, but the home crowd won't mind. I've just seen Will Hughes, the Bath centre, just kick his foot into the grass a bit forlornly. I think he knows that his chance to go to Twickenham has slipped away in these final few moments. The ball scuttles to the back of the scrum into Toby Venner's hand, who feeds Chamberlain, steps inside as we've seen so many times tonight. Burridge melts him. Kicked deep into touch, and the Hartpury bench rush onto the field of play. It's celebration time for the home side Hartpury. Bath players on their knees, shattered from their endeavours, devastated by their missed opportunity, but it's Hartpury who will progress to the BUCS Super Rugby final. 37-27 victors tonight over Bath University. Si, who's your money on for the final?
Up the Puri.
Spoken like a man who now dresses himself in red on a daily basis.
And the man whose former team was just knocked out by Leeds, so I don't want them to win either.
So how do you think Hartpury will take that result tonight, that performance as a whole?
I think they'll be pleased. You know, we've seen this new Bath team this season. They're not the Bath team of old, and they've taken some massive scalps, and that's Hartpury's first win over them. You know, in the season it's 2-1 to Bath. So I think they've got a lot of respect for Bath, and they're just taking a W today. A win's a win in knockout rugby. So especially against a team as good as Bath. So I think they'll be happy with that.
So there you have it, the full-time score. Hartpury 37, Bath 27 in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. As you see the red jerseys swarm to their supporters, to the sound of AC/DC here at Gilman's Ground. We're going to take you through the highlights. 17-6 the score at half-time. The opener from Angus Soughton in the number 5 jersey there. It was patient play from Hartpury. We saw a few flashes of what Bath could do on the break. Scythed down by the man of the match, Toby Venner, on that occasion. There's Elias Caven with a ricochet charge down, first to pounce. It gave Hartpury that 17-6 lead heading into the sheds. And then it was a real try-fest in the second half. Angus Hinton got the brothers right back into it. 4 points adrift they were in the wake of his burrowed effort before Elias Caven, who was all over the place throughout the game, fed to that man, Toby Venner. He wriggled across the line before the same pair linked up down the left flank. Tired Bath defence exploited by the wily Venner. And after a bit of a juggling act, Caven got the ball down, but Bath weren't finished. They weren't dead and done. A fizzed ball from Burridge found the substitute, Miles Reed, to burst through the middle without a fingerprint from Hartpury upon him. And then James Hadfield really got the nerves jingling and jangling for the home side when he rumbled over after 2 Hartpury yellow cards. But Nathan Chamberlain eventually put the fixture to bed with a penalty that took the lead to 10 points, an unassailable one it proved to be. And you see the scenes of jubilation from Hartpury. They're heading to Twickenham, heads drooped and desolate in the Bath camp. They've had a terrific season, 3rd in the league, and real entertainers all the way to this semi-final. We're going to catch up with the man of the match and the Hartpury coach, the winning Hartpury coach, Sean Lynn, in just a moment. But first, we've got a message from our sponsors, Yoti.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago, actually, when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this modern age that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and it's quite versatile as well.
So welcome down to pitch side, where I am here with the winning coach, Sean Lynn, a very happy man, going to his 3rd BUCS Super Rugby final in a row, and this evening's man of the match, Toby Venner. Now Toby, What was it like out there? It was a tussle right to the end.
Oh, it's one of the most intense games of rugby I've played in a long time, and you can tell both sides are really up for it. But it's just a hell of a game to be a part of.
I mean, Bath would just not lay down and die, would they? Every time you stretched ahead, they seem to claw their way back.
Yeah, a lot of respect goes to Bath. You know, when you thought they were dead and buried, they come back and score a try, and you can only respect them for that. They're a great side and put up a great fight there.
You had a couple of narrow losses to them in the league. How did you approach tonight's fixture? I know it's semi-final knockout rugby. Yeah. Is it all mental?
I think it is all mental. We said quite a few times in the week leading up to this game that if you can't get up for semi-final rugby, you're in the wrong place. And it was such a class game to be a part of, and I think all the boys were so up for it.
Yeah. And another try for you tonight. Officially, to the statistics, you're on 11 tries, but I know that you dispute that you've scored more throughout the season.
Can't count them in training.
Yeah, probably a couple have gone uncounted, but it's not about the tries. It's just about putting the shift in for the boys and getting that win. That's the main focus.
I mean, Hartpury into the third successive final. I mean, what is it about Hartpury and knockout rugby? You seem to consistently turn up, and you're unflappable.
I just think is exactly what Toby said. The boys play for each other, and you can clearly see that today has been a great day for Hartpury rugby. The threes, the twos, the ones, all being playing in finals, and it's just about that squad effort. But the big one tonight is the forwards are outstanding. We knew a big threat of what Bath could bring to us, and I can't fault the forwards. They were outstanding tonight.
Yeah, I mean, speaking from a technical level, the way that you nullified their driving maul was so impressive. They've destroyed teams all season, but you really had the measure of them tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Foro and Murph has been working really hard on that, especially with the forwards, because we knew how much of a threat Exeter, Bath, Leeds, Beckett. You've got to be dominant in that forward pack to have a chance going into these knockouts, and that's something that our forwards have delivered.
Well, you've got a big challenge ahead of you when it comes to four packs. None get bigger than
huge.
Leeds, Beckett. I mean, tonight is the perfect dress rehearsal almost.
Yeah, definitely. Full respect to Leeds, they beat us here and we nipped it at the end up there, so it's going to be a tough one, and it's what it's about. BUCS Super Rugby, entertaining.
Unbelievable stuff, isn't it? And I described Leeds Beckett as they're an all-court side now. They've got the forward might, but they can also express themselves through the back. You must be delighted that you were scoring tries in the backs, but then also doing the grunt work up front.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you've got somebody like Werner. The back row have got to be sharp, and then the back line are spot on. And it was great credit to Jack Johnson, who slotted into the 13 slot, and he didn't look out of position at all.
Well, speaking of back row, your back row was slightly poorly behaved at the end of the game. Down to 13 men for that last 10 minutes. Bath got to within 7. What were the sort of conversations that you guys were having behind the sticks as they rumbled over for that try, Toby?
Just about trying to stay in control. I mean, that's the most important thing. If you give Bath room to run, they're gonna tear you apart. So it was just about playing in the right areas of the field and staying disciplined in defence, and it came through. Boys pulled through.
Well, it's an excellent personal performance from you, Toby. Linney's got the Yoti Man of the Match medal, which he can award for you. I'll take the mic so that you can, present it, adorn him with it properly. That's lovely stuff, boys. I can see celebrations that you both want to be a part of, so I'll let you jet off, and I'll see you both boys at Twickenham. All right, lads.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure. So, Si, our co-coms, you didn't get to meet him at the top of the programme because he was stuck in traffic. Si, how are those Bath lads going to be feeling at the moment?
Yeah, they'll be gutted. I mean, that's for a lot of them. That'll be the end of their career at Union Rugby, and it's a fantastic thing to be involved in. They'll look back on it fondly, but at the time they'll be struggling. But I'm sure they'll get on the bus, go back to Bath, and probably have a good night out and celebrate a good 3 years for some of them, and a successful season for Bath. They've taken some massive scalps, and they're going to be proud about that. It just wasn't to be tonight.
And for Hartpury, how do they concentrate on their studies for the next 2 weeks, knowing that they're going to be going to Twickenham on the 10th?
I think that's low down the list of priorities anyway here, so I don't know, they'll be fine. It's always in the back of your mind. When I was involved in the final a couple of years ago, it's a 2-week build-up, and it's always in the back of your mind, and you're thinking about it, and it's about just keeping your composure and going through your detail and prepping like it's any other game.
Yeah. And certainly having a hard-fought win like the game tonight is going to stand them in good stead rather than having, you know, a walkover.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was going to go into the final undercooked, but you certainly don't want that to happen. You know, you want to go in and having to fight for a game, and you know, looking at the scoreboard, 37-27, right down to the wire that last 5 minutes. So yeah, definitely good preparation.
Good stuff. All right, Si, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
As a Richmond fan, I reluctantly wish you the best of luck in the remainder of the championship season, but it's been great to have you on Screen with us tonight and on Co-Coms. That is it from us at Gilman's Ground. Hartpury have triumphed over the brothers. They go to their third final, seeking a third BUCS Super Rugby gold medal in 3 years. Leeds Beckett away. Leeds Beckett, who can stop them? 11 games undefeated now. They just want a 12th now so that they can hoist the trophy. But the only way to find out is to join us on the 10th. We'll have the women's final followed by the men's final in a BUCS rugby extravaganza. Anyway, that's it from us tonight. Thanks for joining us. Good night.